Welcome to the show. I am the digital pit boss. I'm right back at you again. Got one of them famous conscious community debates. In particular, today, got old Westley Muhammad back at it again. This time, Westley Muhammad decided he gonna call him out by name. Well, this name today is Malik Zulu Shabazz, former chairman of the new Black Panther Party. Served 12 years in that position. Y'all know me, still the same OG, though I stay low key. I happen to meet Malik Zulu. At the time, he was giving up the handles to the new Black Panther Party over to Hashim Nzinga. West Coast brother. $1 million holla. And he considers himself a true freedom fighter for Black liberation in the wilderness of North America. This is his words. He graduated a lawyer. He considers himself to be the second most hated Black man in America. Now, I want you to understand, the root of this shit in modern day is none other than the Sarnetta effect, stealing effect. Now, I'm not just bringing you two random Black men about to give you that work. And we're going to hear both sides. You know, I like to lay foundation as I get ready to drop this shit. We're going to hear both sides. But I want you to understand, in modern context, the Sarnetta effect is so real. Somehow, it's the characters from the Sarnetta network, graduates from Sarnetta University. This is what's going to make an award show for this shit just extra hilarious. Anybody receiving an award from this clown shit is a clown and truly up on stage for propaganda purposes only. Irrelevant shit. Now, I take you back 4 years ago. 2013 to be exact, 5 years ago. Here we are in New York City. Malik Zulu has conjured up the Million Youth March. Oh man, you should have been there. Umar Johnson was there. Sarnetta was there. Brother Polite was there. Sarah Sultan said he was there. Westley Muhammad was there. And many more characters that would soon become a household name in your game. But at that very moment, the entire debate circuit had not yet begun. The Kemetic versus the Hebrews had not yet ensued. Sarnetta was working on that part. So before we get into the context of Westley Muhammad and Malik Zulu Shabazz, let's go back and do some history. Because this context is about two other men by the name of Khalid Muhammad and Farrakhan. Let's get it.
I and another brother prayed, and I prayed for him that God would give him to me, yes, sir, as a helper. And when he came back from Africa, I got a call, and he came by my side. And when I started to rebuild this work, he used to carry this big Bible. I wondered why he was carrying this big Bible and I was doing the preaching. That's right, brother. And I never saw him open the Bible. I never saw him, read verse and chapter. But he just held it. And then one day, I said, brother, let me see this Bible. And when I opened the Bible was carved out and a 38 was sitting up here. And the nozzle of the Bible was pointing to a verse that said, smoke came from his mouth. He was going to make sure nobody bothered his brother. I had to tell him, brother College. I didn't call him College then. I won't even mention the other name. But I said, brother, we don't need that. So he put it down. And later I gave him the name Khalid. Because Khalid was called the sword of Allah. He was one of the greatest warriors for Prophet Muhammad. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the minister of Mosque number 7 with your kind permission. Yes, sir. Your acceptance and your help. Our Minister Khalid Abdul Muhammad, would you receive?
I got one letter from Minister Farrakhan in 5 years. One letter in 5 years, though I had written him. I called him repeatedly. You've heard me talk about it. Right at the UAM forum. For years, he set up meetings and postponed the meetings. When I was in the hospital, shot down like a dog. Never visited me. Never sent me a letter. Never sent me a postcard. Not a penny, not a nickel, not a dime the whole damn time. I know what happened between Malcolm and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and how Malcolm's letters were being intercepted, how his calls were being intercepted. So I know when to reach my father, so I would call him early in the morning when I knew he would answer the phone. And I would sometimes speak directly to him, and he would be just as nice and promise that we would meet, and there were no meetings. I stopped doing that, and I said everywhere he was going to speak, I would go and sit on the front row or the second row to say, here I am. Will you see me? Can we talk? Can we work this out? I want to come back. Remember how dedicated I've been. Remember how committed I've been, how devoted I've been.
The sword of Allah, Mr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Woo! Does that name strike blood when it's spoke? I got to see Khalid live in Northridge, California. I must have been about 18, 19. He was a gangster with it. Scared the shit out of me. Oh, yeah. So, the story of Khalid is now in the hands of a Malik Zulu Shabazz and a Hashim Nzinga. They are his proteges. They're following in his footsteps. Khalid Muhammad was embraced by the new Black Panther Party. He became a Farrakhan of the new Black Panther Party. His direction for the new Black Panther Party was opposite that of the direction of the Nation of Islam led by Farrakhan. Now, as long as Khalid was under the hand of Farrakhan, he can be controlled when to speak and when not to speak. But once he became freed from the oppression of the Nation of Islam, he now chose to speak freely. And he wanted to get back to the message. He wasn't looking for no Scientology. He didn't teach no Scientology. He was getting right on them Jews' neck. And at that particular time, Farrakhan said that the Nation of Islam has become a young adult. They had moved on from their adolescent ways, calling out the Jew and the white man. They're switching programs. They're integrating Scientology into the church at this very moment. And you didn't know it. So when Khalid went over to the new Black Panther Party, he quickly found Hashim Nzinga in a think tank in Texas. And then Hashim would lead him to Howard University, where he would then find Malik Zulu Shabazz, just graduating from law school. He made these men principal men in his organization. And from my understanding, these brothers love him dearly. And so they feel the need to tell his story. So Malik wrote a book. It's coming out soon, he say. And he want to sell that book. So he's on Facebook doing some pre-promotion. He dropped a little excerpt from the book, which causes a rambunctious function, conjunction, and some members of the Nation of Islam is responding to the post on Facebook. So because of that, Malik decides he's going to take to the air after hearing Westley Muhammad air him out, calling niggas out by name. He going to respond back. So he goes on Black Power Radio. He fire back. We're going to get into the details very shortly. I just need you to understand how we got here. Understand the details. I see I got a hater in study class. Are you listening, hater? I'm about to teach you some shit you don't know from a viewpoint you don't know. I always get these weirdo niggas from out the country want to come over here in America and get all in the business. Talking about it look empty. Who give a shit? I'm gonna block this video when I'm done anyway. Empty that in your coffin as I air this shit anyway. Now, here's how I flow. Let's first start off with the Westley Muhammad viewpoint.
We the Muslims, we are peaceful people. We don't advocate nor practice violence on anyone who does not attempt violence against us or try to hinder us from practicing our religion. But we advocate and we practice assaulting the enemies of God with nothing more and nothing less than the truth of God and the truth of Satan. Yeah, the Jews are a profoundly powerful people. They are relatively few in number, but they have their hands on just about all of the levers of power. They have the power to end careers. They got the power to ruin the finances of nations. So it's easy for them to ruin the already miserable finances of our pitiful home economics. That's easy for them. We don't want to lose our job. We don't want to lose some position or privilege in this society. So we stay clear of the fight with the Jews. But how do we know who has the courage to follow Farrakhan? Only when Farrakhan's enemies are our enemies can we be considered a follower of Farrakhan. And who are the enemies of Farrakhan? Well, we don't have to speculate. The Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan at Savior's Day answered that clearly and explicitly. He said, the government is my enemy. The powerful Jews are my enemy. And scared to death Negroes are my enemy. But he didn't stop there. And weak Muslims and hypocrites are my enemy. Did he say that? Weak Muslims though? Yeah. And what might a weak Muslim look like in an hour such as this? Maybe, just maybe, he or she might look like those Muslims who constantly coddle, blatantly envious, pathetically narcissistic, self-deluded, covert or closet haters of the minister like Malik, Zulu, Shabazz.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, I said it. I'm tired. All of them will be called out today. Ain't much more diplomacy in this hour. Brother, you choose now, in the midst of the Jews' fury over Farrakhan, you choose now to reopen the Khalid wounds? Really? What is your motive, brother? You whining on Facebook because you say the Muslims never defended your man, Brother Khalid, against the Jews the way we are defending our father, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Hell no, we didn't. And we don't. And we don't. You want to know why? Because Brother Khalid made himself indefensible by doing that which simply cannot be defended out of his pain and his lack of understanding. He made the same error that Brother Malcolm made and attacked his teacher and his benefactor. Yes, he did. and the same spiritual disease that settled in the hearts of Brother Malcolm and Brother Colin against their messenger of God seems to be settling in your heart against the messenger of God, since you want to emulate both of them so much. But you, brother, still got the opportunity to cleanse your heart. So now put that in your book. Muslims, let's stop coddling these people. Let's stop coddling these people. If you are friends and lovers of these people who publicly disrespect the minister, how can we say we are followers of Farrakhan? Yeah, I said I'm gonna risk it all today. But I must say this time around, I'm seeing the Muslims giving these people the business. I am making them tap out in this critical hour. We, the Muslims, must move on people like a disturbed hornet's nest when they get out of pocket with the messenger of God. Not physically, intellectually. We argue in the best of manners, but we swarm them and exhaust them, not allowing them even to get back to their corner to get a breather, because they got us coming from everywhere. The only option is to tap out. We are fighting for Islam. We are fighting for the messenger of God today. The Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan, and we will surely win.
That right there is straight out of Sarnetta University Debate Game 101. He then did a full testimony about a Facebook post. Now, the Nation of Islam they ain't following God, they following Farrakhan. What the hell? Where you Muslims at, part of the Nation of Islam? I need to know, is you following God or is you following Farrakhan? Because I don't recall nobody in the gospel following none of the disciples of Christ. It was clear as day that Christ was the head of the church and is the Nation of Islam part of the church. This we need to understand. Because I'm telling y'all, Westley Muhammad he might have been schooled in the white folks' college and carved in the Nation of Islam. But he was shaped and molded on Sarnetta TV. Because once you go over there, you get a hex put on you for the rest of your career, for even being over there. You about to get the hex put on you. It'll never come off because the videos live forever. We can go back to every Westley Muhammad video on YouTube and compare it, and we'll see the play. This is what they all do. It's a hustle game. Ain't no real shit he talking about. We need to intellectually attack them like a swarm of bees. That's Sarnetta TV. That's Israel Doctrine on Sarnetta Neck with 1,000 videos. Tactics we done already pulled off years ago. He trying to remake the tactic. I ain't a believer. Now, it's only fair. We listen to the other side. You make the judgment call. I'm not here to say who's right and who's wrong. I'm just laying down a view what's really going on around here with the so-called black power. This shit is Sinetta TV. This shit ain't interesting. This shit is ridiculous. It don't matter if it's some low-level niggas, Lex Vortex, the Aboriginals versus the African niggas at NBK, or it's these niggas on big stages. This is the same nigga shit. But we got to cover it. All this shit deserves a little coverage. I know it's hard for y'all to take when Pitbull step in on this shit. I could really just dissect this shit to 1,000 degrees. And I'm just going a little soft because this little topic ain't really about nothing. But I thought that y'all interested because, you know, they all from Sinetta TV. Malik too, Sinetta TV. Now, they got their own things going, which bring them there. But this nigga shit, debate bullshit, intellectual sparring tactic bullshit, that ain't no Nation of Islam teaching. It's distraction. Now, Malik want to bring this book out. And to bring it out, he got to talk about some shit that's going to be a little disturbing. Because Khalid's life in this area was disturbing to some, just like Malcolm. Now, I'm not trying to be unfair. That damn Malik is long-winded, so y'all gonna have to sit back because, you know, he really go in. Now, I might stop it and fast forward a little bit just to get to the good parts, but it was very interesting direction. And he kind of breaks his perspective down better than I could do. So let's hear the lawyer warrior.
I've been up in this and helping Minister Louis Farrakhan and helping y'all since 1988. I've been fighting through obstacles and battles and beating down y'all enemies and helping y'all ministers 30 years. I have gone in places and defended Louis Farrakhan and represented Louis Farrakhan. Because whether I was in the nation or not, hell, they didn't know. The judge didn't know. The prosecutor, the police, wherever I was, they didn't know. I'm Malik Shabazz. They see me as you. They don't know about whether I'm registered in some mosque or not. I've represented you all over the world. And you'll turn on me in a goddamn heartbeat because of some nigga said, or because I have to write a book about a man that I love, a man that that some of my friends were shot for, and I was damn near killed for myself, and you'll turn on me? You're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. And a careful review of the evidence will show that you're wrong for that. So let's try to be dispassionate. This is an emotional subject, but how about let's rise above emotions, and I'll do the same because I believe that I'm a more mature man today than yesterday. I'm a wiser man by circumstances of today yet yesterday. And still, under the laws of Maya, I'm valid. Now, I have to make my word bond because I have to bring out Khalid Muhammad's book. I gave my word to him that I would represent him in what he taught, and I believed in what I said. I was supposed to release the book back in 2004. In 2004, a newspaper article came out in the Blue Black Panther newspaper, and it answered other critics we had at that time. And those critics said that Khalid Muhammad had been assassinated, and that Hashim Nzinga, for the chairman at that time, chief of staff Minister Hashim Nzinga was complicit in the assassination of Khalid Abdul Muhammad, charging him with complicity in the assassination. It came out at that time, also charging me, Malik Zulu Shabazz, as having something to do with our leader's accusation. A time period that will be told one day, but many of you will never understand what a lonely and hard time that was and how many people turned on us. In the year 2001, Khalid Abdul Muhammad passed. Minister Louis Farrakhan in the Nation of Islam was not speaking to us. And all of Khalid's friends and his followers, a whole lot of them turned on me and Brother Hashim and accused us of all kinds of wickedness. And yet in those years of 2001, 2002, and 2003, we made our way by God's grace and by true commitment to our people. We rebuilt the Panther Party and rebuilt it strong. All the way to you saw at the Millions More movement, you saw 100 some odd Black Panthers in formation, in line at the Millions More movement. So some of you punks have been online talking about that we haven't done. We're not as great as generals as Khalid Muhammad. We haven't trained the Panther Party as great as Muhammad. You must need to read what we about to put out so you can see that line of 100 some odd Black Panthers in military uniform on the mall supporting Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, the largest militia ever brought to the mall in American history, paramilitary. I would say it was all quite impressive. But you don't want to, you just want to distort the facts. You ain't got facts, you just running off at the goddamn mouth. But I'm an attorney at law. I have to go for evidence. We have to go after the evidence. Now the evidence says here that we were going to release the book in 2004, but we held up. Why we hold up? Because we believe that unity is even more important. And healing the wounds was even more important than telling all the details of Khalid Muhammad's life. We said the book would come out in the newspaper on his death, and then we held it. Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, came to us as he was having the Millions More movement. He invited us to participate. We put down our book plans, and we embraced a man that we admired, yet had issues with, because our father had passed and there had been no reconciliation, nowhere near reconciliation. And I believe that Minister Farrakhan and his people was angry with us, and we know that Khalid was angry with them. We wasn't really angry with the Nation of Islam. We just loved Khalid Muhammad. When Minister Farrakhan extended his hand to us like brothers, we extended our hands back to him. And we had talks in the palace and other areas, and we cried some tears over.
Okay. This is a long one, so I got to fast forward a little bit. We got to get into the story. He long-winded, y'all. Let's get it.
Speak. Was he ego tripping? Was he trying to fit into some place with some people that didn't even like him? Then he put the Final Call newspaper out, and he blasted Bill Lucy, and he blasted Kwesi Mfume, he blasted Jesse Jackson, all of them in the hip pocket of the enemy, because they wouldn't allow the man who could bring out 19,000, the man who can bring out 25,000 when he put his name on it, the man who can bring out FOI and MGT and the masses of our people, the strongest leader of the masses since the Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And they were hiding from that man and ducking that man and trying to avoid the fact that it was time, and he was on time. And so I was with them on that goddamn day, because I was on their ass for Farrakhan too. And you bitch motherfuckers, you just got here. I have hurt people for Louis Farrakhan. All right. Let me just hold my point. Let me hold my point. I was doing this before some of you punks even got here. Some of you niggas in prison. You admitted when you came out, oh brothers, not all niggas, some niggas and many brothers. Remember, this is just a few. This is a few. Y'all gotta feel me, man. I'm one of y'all. But I'm going through something. I'm a son of Louis Farrakhan. Hashim Nzinga is a son of Louis Farrakhan. Akbar Bilal are sons of Louis Farrakhan. Khalid Abdul Muhammad is a son of Louis Farrakhan. But when we write in the book of Khalid, we're going through something. We have to make our word bond to our leader, and we can't sacrifice nothing in this hour. He deserves his time. Stop telling him to wait. Wait. In 1993 at the march, and the Civil Rights March, when they were demanding Mr. Farrakhan speak, and Mr. Farrakhan blasted them on the cover of the newspaper. Because God said it's his time. He told him to move on the Negroes. It was his time, and he was right. When we said that we were trying to give our presentation at the Millions More movement, and it was a conspiracy to block us out and get us off the program. We weren't ego tripping. This is the Black Panther time. We were right. And at this point in time, we are right. The Khalid Muhammad book out, and to get it out, we've had 17 years we have waited. 17 long years we have deferred to everybody else, put our own feelings aside. Okay.
Now, a little later in the show, a little bit later in the show, he invites people from that Facebook post, call in on the show, get it out. Let's hear what you're talking about. Let's see if we can find that right moment.
Why didn't you get that kind of defense? You got background noise coming somewhere. Why didn't Khalid Muhammad get the defense? Why didn't he get that? I asked that question. Now, I have a right to ask that question. I asked that question, and I put part of the caption in the book that dealt with Muhammad's suspension. Now, I did that because now, number one, I have been putting different parts of the book out. Some of it good, some of it controversial. I mean, it's in the book. Either way you slice it, forget the little post. Khalid's book is coming. It's supposed to come April 21st, and only because of the uproar, and I don't want to let all my guests at the convention have to come under the big squeeze and all this big furor over the book, where I decided to put it out on Malcolm's birthday. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan will, not maybe, will, because of his comments, will be the subject of Zionist criticism on this subject for at least the remainder of the year. This ain't gonna go away. And Minister Farrakhan looks like he's determined to keep going after that. He's not gonna wait no whole goddamn year. After waiting 17 years to tell Khalid Muhammad's story, and I'm gonna wait another year. God made this happen at the same time. God made it happen. You gotta go to Allah, the God you say you believe in, to ask why he allowed it to happen. Then it's to study it. It's something to study. So, I mean, I don't know why it's all happening at the same time. And the bottom line to it is, you know, we have to have mutual respect. We're not little boys and be told to stand down. We are not in the Nation of Islam. We are the New Black Panther Party, Black Lawyers for Justice, and otherwise known, we represent the Black nationalists in the hills of North America, and we have our own movement. We are your allies. We are not your minions. We ain't nobody's minions. You know? You tell Jesse Jackson or somebody that don't put his book out, I'll laugh you out of here, man.
We are an independent nation over here. And we would demand the respect and sovereignty that a nation deserves. Your nation may be bigger than ours. And it may even be better organized than ours. But our nation is still our nation. We have our pride, we have our sovereignty, we have our history, and we will be respected as a nation over here. You know, and it is what it is, man. All right, any follow-up questions? You're a smart man, ask a follow-up. You know what's out there, what's up?
Simply, okay, now, I think perhaps from based on what we are getting from several prominent or high-ranking, high-profile, our Muslims, is perhaps the wording of one of your posts when you had posted the video from February 1994 when Minister Farrakhan sat down Brother Khalid. You had said that Minister Farrakhan, this was the press conference where Minister Farrakhan sat down Brother Khalid for speaking against whites and Jews. And so, okay, the wording of that, what they're saying, or what I want to know is the wording of that. Are you saying that Minister Farrakhan sat down Khalid specifically for speaking against whites and Jews, or are you saying he just happened to be speaking about whites and Jews? What was it that you were actually saying? I think because people are unclear with that.
Caption that I printed, and this is to show you how silly, how really this is a matter of religious intolerance. This is not a matter of Malik, Zulu, Shabazz having bad motives. This is a matter of hypersensitive and insecure persons in religion that take anything and go off on it without carefully analyzing. This was a caption from the book. This is one of my captions. Turn off all that background noise, Akbar. Seriously.
There's none here.
This is a caption. Yeah, you got to mute your phone. I know you're in your car or something. But anyway, now let me get right to this. This is important. There is a caption. That is a caption. That is a statement that is made in the book. And it is made, and it is a fair caption. It is not all of the analysis. It don't say Minister Louis Farrakhan, due to Khalid Muhammad's tone, because I read the speech again, and I've compared them side by side with some of Farrakhan's roughest speeches recently. Not no old Farrakhan, recent Farrakhan. Average member of the public read the two speeches, they ain't gonna see no difference in tone hardly. And most of them ain't gonna see nothing wrong with Muhammad's speech. But my point is that I put the video with the statement so that people can hear why Minister Farrakhan, in his own words, why he suspended Muhammad. And they're really mad because I posted that video. If I would have posted that video with no words and just said Minister Farrakhan suspends Khalid Muhammad, they would have went off. If I just would have posted it, they don't want the issue mentioned. And if you heard Westley Muhammad's question, he said, why this issue now? He didn't say why that post. He mischaracterized the post, and then he said, why this issue? Nation of Islam, narrow-minded zealots, or whatever this junta is, their position is that Khalid Muhammad time ain't no time. All life and everything is always about Farrakhan. Anything that may ever come out that raises the question about Farrakhan, Minister Farrakhan, must be suppressed at all times. It ain't never no good time for Muhammad. Never. We disagree. I mean, this is a guy, that's just it, man. And the unfortunate part about it is nothing really has changed since 1994. You know, the intolerance, the lack of ability to be objective, the defensiveness, and just the negative feelings have, it should bring back bad memories of the way we were treated in the years of 1994, 95, 96. But even though we have bad memories, guess what? I'm not going to let it taint the way I'm treating shit right. I'm not going to just be like, okay, since you niggas dogged me out, I got you now. I'm going to stay with the same motive and the same intent I had. And that is to write and to tell the story, man. I'm not no enemy to Louis Farrakhan. I love Minister Farrakhan. Do I have some questions about some decisions he made or things that he done? on a public level? Of course. You know, do I have the right to analyze it? Of course. Will I analyze it? Of course. I'm a writer, I'm an author, I'm an attorney, I'm a thinking man. Is my motive to try to bring him down in the eyes of the people and all that insane stuff? You sound like you're out of your mind. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan is lionized in this book. And he will be lionized due to the objectivity in the book. The objectivity in the book. Your books on Farrakhan is so religious and one-sided, nobody in scholarship can take it seriously. And scholars ain't gonna take them books y'all putting out there seriously when that book is not academically objective. Because you're a member of the organization. I'm a person that's for you, but not in it. Hell, better than Manning Marable and Eric Lincoln. Look at what Eric Lincoln did. Everything that Eric Lincoln wrote wasn't 100% in agreement with what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad would have. Eric Lincoln book is a legend. Eric Lincoln book, The Black Muslims in America, is a legend. Message to the Black Man, Fall of America, Our Savior have arrived, are legend books inside of the nation. Eric Lincoln's Black Muslims in America is what all the college students and people read, and still to this day is the #1 book on the Black Muslims up through Malcolm's time. So what am I saying? Am I saying all that, man? Up with knowledge. The Prophet Muhammad says that a learned man is harder on the devil than 1,000 ignorant worshipers. He says this for a reason. He says, seek knowledge, the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, seek knowledge as far as China. That means even if the knowledge is outside of something that you are normally accustomed to or agreed with or been taught by, trained by, drilled by. If what I'm saying is false, let it be. It'll confirm that you're right. It has to be tested by the opposite theory. Your theory can't be right if it does not test it and have a hypothesis to reach a final conclusion if you disagree with it. Maybe you're afraid you will agree with me. Maybe the real fear is that you're going to like this book of college. You helping me put this together, Farad Muhammad. You tell me how awesome this book is.
Yes, sir, I am. I can honestly say, and I actually said this on Facebook in defense of many of the negative things that are being said towards you, that I can bear witness that the book actually places Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam in a very positive light.
The Book of Khalid, written by Malik Zulu Shabazz. This is the beginning of how the network work. We start on a Facebook post. We get a little movement going there. We move over to Sinetta TV, do it on video. Then we meet face to face on the stage, the Grand Luxor. And we get it off with intellect until you tap out. Don't let them breathe. Get the info. I'm going to have to go with Malik on this one. The man spoke truth. That the knowledge should be tested. I'm from Los Angeles. And in the middle, in the smack dab of Inglewood, is a big ass Scientology church protected by the Nation of Islam. I don't know nobody I ever grew up with that's not part of Islam, the Nation of Islam, following blindly, agree with that shit. But the nation has no choice. They don't have objective criticism. Whatever Farrakhan is doing, Westley Muhammad must defend. But see, the followers of Christ in the Bible and the story of the gospel, if not what he did was real, they wouldn't follow. But because the works that he do, so said in the book, they knew the man to be with the power of God. And then it was tested. 2,000 years the gospel's been tested. Still standing. This one ain't no different than any other debate we've heard. Same shit, just a different day. The characters are a little bit more bigger in platforms, but the ingredients to what's going on is still the same. I want to see the information tested. I want to read the book. And I want the Nation of Islam through Westley Muhammad to answer the book. That's how it should go. And guess what? One aspect is to get information out there. And the second aspect is black economics. But I'm going to tell you what real is in current day operations. Real is what's going on over there in South Africa. That shit is way better than what the hell we doing with our little group of followers of men. These people are followers of men. I ain't following no man. I'm going to stand on my own. Hold my shit down on my own. But I ain't following nothing. I'll listen to you. I give you an opportunity to speak your piece. But I ain't following nothing. Nothing. But this one, I found a little interesting. I thought I'd bring it to you. I know y'all don't give a shit. I know y'all ain't gonna really. Y'all just entertain for a quick moment. Well, there you have it. Any feedback, write it in the comment section. And let's hear what you thought. If no feedback, then we done what we had to do. We dropped that shit. I give you a moment, and I'll take it that you've been entertained, and you're feeling good now. So look for it. Every Monday, you can go to Black Power Radio, and you can check out the show. You can go watch the full show. You can find it. Malik Zulu Shabazz answers Westley Muhammad on YouTube. Listen to the full audio. Or you can go to Westley Muhammad calls out Malik Zulu Shabazz. It's one of the conscious community channels that's posting this shit, trying to get his views up. Go check it out if you want to see the video version. I was just here to pose a little contrast. It was interesting. Let's keep it going. It's what they do. This that nigga shit that niggas do. At the end of the day, somebody gonna have to find out what the hell is going on with this. I thought these niggas was cleared. Dianetically cleared. What happened? What the hell is y'all emotionally charged because somebody want to put out a book about their leader? What kind of shit is that? Because y'all don't like them. Y'all don't like the message, huh? Well, since I got old boring ass haters on my channel watching, I'll leave you with this. I'll leave you with this little bit so you know your shit. Digital Pit Boss is back at it again. Donate to the show if you want more. That's how this shit go. I ain't got all day. Let me drop the link. I know y'all don't like to hit the link. Go to my PayPal, 99lightyears@gmail.com. Put a hun bone on your boy. You know I don't do them tools and fuels. Get that shit to your kids. I'm the Digital Pit Boss, baby, and I'm out.